everybody, this is Jonius with another R6 vlog. Another beautiful night in Greece. Still testing and perfecting the GoPro settings for nighttime. There's a few things that I've done different now. They might be noticeable in the video. We'll talk along with them as well as today's topic. First of all, I'm wearing the that's not good. First of all, I'm wearing full gear. So you can see we got my jacket, my gloves, everything. Another new gear that I bought is this bag, this Colori bag that I'm wearing. The bike is quite hot, so cold, sorry, so we gotta warm it up a little bit. This guy is going on the opposite lane, fucking moron. I think today is also full moon, so for all the werewolves out there, chain yourself up. This is a new bag that I'm wearing. I'm testing it. I don't know if it can be seen. Colori bag. It's a biker sort of a thing. Actually, I think it's a little bit loose. It's the first time that I'm wearing it on the bike, so I am testing it. It doesn't matter, we'll test it together. Yeah, I think it's a little bit loose, so maybe tighten it up wherever the tightening up point is, if I can. If not, then no problem. Okay, maybe we'll do it like this. Maybe we'll do it like that. I think it's a bit more difficult than what I thought. It's probably good, so it doesn't get undone, but makes it a little bit more difficult if you want to do it on the go. And I snapped the buckle. Anyway, yeah, it's a little bit more difficult than what I thought. No problem. Hope nobody comes from behind us. Because they do drive silly on these roads. Yeah, it's very loose. Anyway, we'll fix it. This is the back, Colori, gloves, jacket, everything is on. It's a little bit loose when you bend down. I have not tested, so it needs to be a little bit more tight, a little bit more close, and you can spin it around if you want to make some more room for the things, but I like to keep it, you know, get a better feel for it. So not perfect, but you know, I think we fixed the sound from the GoPro, so that's a positive, on a positive note. The bike warmed up, engine wise. Yeah, the bike is spinning around by itself. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to. Anyway, what are they doing there? Working maintenance. What the fuck is it doing? Fucking moron. So as always, I do a little introduction of my videos because it might be the first time for somebody watching it. So my name is John, 44 years old, married guy with a 6-year-old boy, living in Greece, grew up in Australia, electrical electronic engineer. Started my YouTube channel doing casual content, usually involving around bikes and games, and general topic of discussion. This is what my vlogs are. So that's one thing that we tried. Another nice thing is I got the level 2 protection for my jacket. I ordered it. It feels fucking awesome. You can't feel the difference. You can't feel, you know, if you grab the level 1 and the level 2 in your hand, you'll realize one is like 3 times the weight of level 1. Level 1 is just a foam. The level 2 protection that I got is like special material made for better protection. But it fits real nice. The inside, it's got like a soft thing on you, so you can't really feel it. So it's very good. That's as far as gear goes. So bag, which we'll have to fix. Bag and the level 2 protection. It's beautiful. The reason why I'm wearing the jacket and the gloves today, besides actually protecting myself, is I realized yesterday that it was very windy, and a lot of these days it's very windy, and I thought to myself, you know, it might be hot, but because there's a lot of wind and this is, you know, like a see-through sort of material, why don't you wear it? Is this guy gonna fucking okay, I mean, we said go slow, but not like that. So I thought, you know, level 2 protection, and I thought, you know, wear the jacket, test both the level 2 protection, which feels fucking awesome. I can't even feel it. I'm not wearing a bag, so that's another disclaimer. When you see me wearing my my backpack, it's usually because I've got in mind to go and get some sort of footage, which is, you know, I need the GoPro suitcase with a tripod, with everything, you know what I mean? If you don't see me, if it's just a vlog like we're doing now, I don't need the bag. So it's as simple as that. I can overtake these guys, but the road is a little bit dangerous. A lot of overtaking is happening. Doesn't matter, we'll try to take it slow. I try to avoid having cars in front of me, just for the fact of being, you know, more not paying attention of if somebody does something silly, not, you know, brake check, but there's a dickhead. Beautiful dickhead. Yeah, baby, I mean, come on, guys. Beautiful. So another thing that I've done is I changed the position on the front camera. I realized that a lot of the times where I was taking a lot of the footage, it was way too high, it was grabbing my head, it was grabbing the thing behind. When I leaned down like this, okay, it did grab the whole helmet, but I thought it's not needed to, you know what I mean? You can grab up to here. This is what I'm aiming for. But when I went backwards like this, it had a lot of gap, you know what I mean? So I thought put it a little bit down. And another thing is, because I use these videos to also study myself when I drive, especially when I take it a little bit more hardcore around the turns, the bends and everything, I try to pay attention of what I do with my hands. If I do a wrong technique, that's a good thing for everybody, you know what I mean? Try to correct myself, my body position. I mean, you can't tell much from the camera, but being lower and having a look at my hands might actually help on that as well. We're taking a similar ride as yesterday, but we're going through a little bit of a different route. Very windy today. It's good at least because we get, you know, what the hell is it doing? Alright. So today's topic, should you high rev your bike? Should you not high rev your bike? This was a discussion that I had with one of my friends, and you know, he was against it, I was for it, and you know, not arguing, but yeah, like a friendly conversation. We're going back and forth, back and forth. Back and forth. He was against the idea of revving it too much. I was for revving it. There's no problem with revving a bike. So just to begin off, I will state that, yeah, go ahead and rev your bike. And there's a fellow YouTuber that made one of the awesome videos that I really like this guy. I'm not gonna say his channel, but you know, he's a hilarious YouTuber, and he had a point. He said, you paid for the tachometer, you might as well use it. So that's a hilarious comment on his behalf. I love the guy, but he's right, you know what I mean? You paid for the tachometer, use it. Use it. If you see my bike, I'm driving around 8,000 at the moment. Now 10,000, 12,000, 13,000, keep the bike there, and it's different for each bike. For my bike, it's what I just said, you know what I mean? So usually, now I'm trying to keep the bike quiet as well, but usually what I will drive is around like this. So this will be my RPM, stand like that. That's how I usually drive. But now I'm trying so the bike doesn't scream his ass off, try to keep it a little bit lower. So if you look at my tachometer, my red line is on 17. You don't have to go overboard. Like with everything, you know, moderation is virtue. You don't have to redline the bike. You don't have to ride it for, in my case, close to the red line, which is like around 15, 16. That does wear the engine and records additional kilometers, let's say, to the engine, depending on how your tachometer works. You don't have to do that, but riding it on too low RPMs is a problem. And usually when I have this type of discussions slash arguments, in a nice way, arguments with my friend, usually what I do is, you know, I try not to be very like, oh, this is my way, this is right. I mean, I listen to him, I might disagree, we might agree, we've got a good communication, but usually what I do after that, it triggers a research process, you know what I mean, which is good. And I think he does that also as well, you know what I mean. We might be discussing something, and we might, you know, trigger him to look into it, as it would trigger me to look into it as well. Dude, okay, you don't have a jumbo jet. I mean, you can turn it a little bit more normal. Lol. Let's turn around here. So, and since we're here, also, yeah, I forgot to mention about my new setups on the GoPro, what I'm testing for settings. So I realized that using a specific FPS, let me take the gloves off and I'll try to fix my thingy. I realized that using a specific FPS actually provides a better, let's say, no image quality. It provides a little bit of a brighter picture, first of all. So that's one difference. That's one thing that I did different. Another thing that I did different is to remove the grain. I thought to myself, you know, the high contrast might not work as good, so I've got medium at the moment. Another thing that I did test a few things, and it seemed as if that it worked better. This is a pain in the ass to actually fix. Please excuse, but for the love of God, what the fuck? Okay, so you gotta pull this thing out. Yeah, okay, I got it. Anyway, don't let me bore you how I fix this. I'll fix it. What the fuck? Okay, this might be good. Yep, much tighter, much better. So another thing that I did also is I disabled the GoPro coloring scheme. I just want to test it. I know that it's on normal video it's better, but maybe on night settings it's worse. And the last and most important thing, I don't know if you noticed a lot of my videos, including the Athens Motor Show, there was a lot of flickering, and I was thinking, how is this affecting my, let's go a little bit where there's more light so you can see me. what am I doing wrong setting wise, and why is it flickering, and why is it like this, or why is it like that? I did some research, and you will not believe what it was, which I knew about it, but I don't know why. The fucking stupidity did not let me, you know. Let's stop a little bit here on the side. We're going to go on that light on the right hand side, so we'll stop here and we'll continue later, just so you can see me. I hope the camera angle is good also, because you know there's many things that we're testing for the first time today. So that's one of the tests. I just want to look at the lights and see how it goes. I realized that, and because I've done electronic engineering, I knew this from school, but you know, every country has specific hertz. A specific hertz is like in Greece, for example, we have 240 volts over 50 hertz. That's the frequency. The frequency of the electricity is the frequency of the lights. All lights flicker on a specific frequency. That's why you have the NTSC, that's why you have the PAL TVs. But because, you know, this was some old subjects that I've done and I forgot about it, it did not click in my mind. Usually you talk about TV and you say, you know, it's 50 hertz, recording 60 hertz, depends if you're Europe, if you're PAL, if you're NTSC, okay, yeah, whatever. But it doesn't click in your mind that it actually goes for the lights as well. 240 volts. In Greece we're 50. When you're recording, I was recording on 2.7K, 60 frames per second. The 60 frames per second, 60 frequency in other words, comparison to the 50 hertz that is the lights, will create a flicker, and vice versa. Let's say I'm recording on 50 frames per second because I'm in Greece and I go overseas and I take my GoPro with me. I go to America and I want to get some footage. Remember to always check the area that you are and match the frames. Now what I'm recording for is 50 frames per second, not 60. You know what I mean? Not 24, 25. The specific anyway ranges, you know what I mean? So I've changed this and hopefully it fixes it. I did try it in my neighborhood with the light, and it seemed that the flickering stopped. So there should be no flickering, you know what I mean? We'll do a test like that. So I'm testing this, I'm testing the angle, I'm testing many things all together. And we still have not gotten into our topic. So I've got 3 points to discuss of why it's good to rev your bike. One of it, it's fun. Second of all, you hear the music of your beautiful goddamn machine. Third of all, it is built that way. And I will give now some specific pointers, which is basically 3 of them, if I can remember them correctly. The first one is traction control. How does traction control work? A lot of people will say, you know, traction control, but I don't think many people know exactly how traction control works. And they say, yeah, it counts the speed of the back wheel, and you know, then it cuts the power from the engine in order to not overspin, and yeah, whatever. How does it do that? So this video is going to be a little bit more technical slash mechanical. Yeah, baby. So it's going to be a little bit more mechanical slash technical. The way that it does is it skips fires on the cylinder. So let's say it's a 4-cylinder bike and it goes boom, 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 boom. It will go boom, boom, skip, boom, boom, skip. It will do that. And the faster the engine revs, the more revolutions it has, the more firing per second, the better the traction control works, because it has more, let's say, firing control to play around with. So this is a very important point. So traction control is number 1. Number 2, I'm going to call it cylinder back pressure. When the cylinder is working, it's trying to push on the axle. You're working on lower revs. You are forcing the system, let's say. There's no traffic, by the way. You saw that. Just dumb fucking cunts. Anyway, sorry. Just dumb cunts. Don't know how to drive. So when the cylinder pushes, there's an explosion. It uses, I'll try to explain simple, it uses more of its torque rather than its horsepower, and there's different negative effects of torque on the axle, on the cylinder, on the engine, and there's different negative effects of horsepower. Horsepower has a different application. That's why you see a lot of people say my bike is torquey, so it starts quick. The torque is the raw power, the explosion of the cylinder, and it's noticeable in low speeds, low RPMs. Why? Because that's when the explosion really pushes to start the cylinder going. So the slower the axle is moving, the crankshaft, the more force the cylinder has. The higher RPMs, the less evident the weight of the axle becomes. Therefore, meaning that it stresses the cylinder in the back pressure sort of, let's say, sense, less. So that's also another thing why it's that's another reason why it's good. Yeah, baby, we gotta fucking open it up a little bit. Yeah. So that's another thing, very important. Do not think, there's a lot of people that say I'm going to be driving in more chill out, I'm going to be on low RPMs. These RPMs are beautiful, 8,000. Like, do not worry about it. 8,000 RPMs. What are they doing, dude? Car accident. Yeah. He went in the... So don't think because you're driving on low RPMs that you're helping your bike and it's more relaxed. You might be actually pushing it more. And the third and last and most important, I don't know if in English, I think there's a saying in English, but in Greece we'll say it means he unclogged my bike. He took it for a ride and he unclogged it. What do we mean by unclogging? Sometimes when a driver is very, how can I say, a very restricted, let's say, rider, he's very, you know, rides very easy, doesn't push his bike a lot, he doesn't utilize the full RPM. Sometimes this, it's bad for the cylinders because it creates carbon deposits. So the fuel mixture on the bike creates carbon deposits, and these carbon deposits can really destroy your bike and can even lead to engine failure, both from the cylinders or the valves. When you are driving on higher RPMs, you are helping. Think about a carbon deposit, okay, build up, then think about that cylinder moving faster, increasing the temperature, the carbon deposit gets more unstuck from the cylinder, and with more flow, air, engine, whatever, you're blowing through it faster. It helps clean it, in other words. And that you can also do in conjunction, let's see if there's any car behind us, okay, in conjunction with using high octane fuel. Every now and then use high octane fuel. It's good. It burns faster, it burns cleaner, there's less residue, and it helps the bike as well. And that's why I left that for last, because it's one of the most important ones, which really will cause damage to your engine. You know what I mean? You have to, not like sitting on 4 RPMs and not going 16 all the time. Look at my bike, you know what I mean? On the top, 12, 13, 14. That's why you see me sometimes I rev it up, it goes 14, it doesn't go all the way, and I change gear. You don't have to fuck your bike every time, but I will rev it up. I will rev it up. You will not see me go unless I'm doing an R6 vlog like now, where I'm going like silly, which is not good for my bike at the moment. But every now and then I counter effect it because I open it up, I give it a bit. It's when you hear me say I gotta open it up. They fixed the road also, and I'm enjoying this. So these are all the things, and like my friend YouTuber said, you paid for the tachometer, use it. And as we say in Greece, with moderation. Use it, don't go spastic on it, don't redline it. Redline will destroy your bike, first of all, and going close to the red line will increase the tear as meru-wise, the meru, because you're driving it close to the heat and to the forces which your engine has been designed for. So you're stressing the thing. But you know, the bike manufacturers put a red line much before the failure of the engine, you know what I mean? But let's say the engine can take 20,000, they will put a red line on 17,000. They will put it quite a bit more as a safety, let's say. And obviously regulations in each country can also affect this. So don't go, you know, you can cause damage, like I said, but you gotta balance everything. Everything in life is balanced, you know what I mean? You gotta use it a little bit. Don't be one of these guys that thinks that, I'm just gonna be chilling out. I do it as well sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I do want to chill out. Because my bike is very loud. Because I don't want to hear the thing. Yeah, okay, at least be aware of what you're doing and know that if you are going to be chilled out as in such a way, you will, as we say in Greek, need every now and then to just unclog your bike. Okay, so we're reaching close to the end of the video, so I will thank everybody. Hopefully the footage is very good. I'll bid you goodbye. Have an awesome, great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.